Hello, welcome to Midnight Musings. I'm your host, Bren.
And I'm Jay.
That's right. And it's, what is it, episode 4?
It is episode 4, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So we're doing quite well with these, aren't we?
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Been fairly consistent.
Seems to be consistent, seems to be doing well. It's always good, it's good. And we're happy to hear from you week on week as well, our beautiful listeners.
Yes.
Yes. And of course, before we dive into our main topic, we just want to remind everybody that you can leave a comment that we will read out on the next show on our YouTube channel where we do post these. So that's youtube.com/Ministry of Gamers MOG. Yes. If you want to comment on anything we talk about today, then please leave it there and we will read it out in the next show. So I guess now it's time to get straight into the main topic, isn't it, Jay?
It is.
And we have a jingle, so I'm going to play it now. Yes, isn't that epic? It's beautiful.
Going up in the world.
beautiful music to introduce our segments. Yeah, so, Jay, what is today's main topic?
Well, the main topic today is, are games too long nowadays?
Yes. And is that a bad thing? I mean, should game developers focus on creating shorter, more concise experiences, or is there still a demand for longer and more in-depth games? Let's discuss. Jay, what are your thoughts on this?
See, I like when a game is long, especially if I'm getting into it. Now, this is where it's going to get really difficult. But on the flip side, there are games which do outstay their welcome. And for me, I think it just comes down to when developers unnecessarily bloat their games to increase runtime.
We're talking about that word padding, aren't we?
Yes.
Now,
Because, I mean, to give like a real life example, I recently played through Persona 5.
Okay, yeah.
And that took me about 130 hours, I think, to do everything. And if I'm honest, I didn't want it to end. I could have gone for another 130 hours on that game. I loved every second of it. But yeah, because it was a constant moving story, there was always something to do. There was no unnecessary padding.
Yes.
On the flip side,
go on.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Why did I have a feeling you were going to say that game title in particular?
I don't have the time for that.
No, I don't think many of the gaming community had time to go through and do everything Assassin's Creed Valhalla had to offer. But that, I think therein lies the thing that you just mentioned. Now, you mentioned story. You know, you like Persona 5 is brimming with story. You know, and arguably the story and the cutscenes and dialogue between characters takes up just as much of the game time as like the rest of, actual playing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So a lot of it is being immersed and being pulled in by the characters. And I would say that let's say Persona 5 was exactly the same length, but there was no story in it. Do you think you would have played it for 130 hours?
No. I would just get bored because without the story pulling you along or something to get really immersed into, it just that's what I just got lost in the story and the characters, and that's what really made me wanted to keep playing it. Yeah.
So I guess then the longevity of a game, I mean, obviously it's different for everyone that plays games, that play games for different reasons and stuff like that. But I think I'm in the same camp as you that if I'm going to be playing a game for an extended period of time, it has to have a compelling story or some really interesting character to keep me wanting to go back to see how's that character doing, what's going to happen next to them, and something like that's going to pull me back in rather than something like, I don't know, Minecraft, where it's like, oh, I better go and play Minecraft for another 2 hours because I need to bash some rocks for a bit.
Yeah, I think games like Minecraft and everything, they're in their own category because they can go for as long as you want. Really.
Maybe that was a bad example.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying. But I mean, yeah, sandbox games. I think they can go on for as long as you like, or as short as you like. Depends if you want to beeline the I use the quote story loosely, but
yeah.
But then it comes down to like, so what is the ideal game length? Do we think?
Now that's the $1 million question. I think that like so many developers would really want to know the answer to that. Like, what is the golden time frame? But I guess you can't have. There's no perfect. There isn't. It can't be, because everybody is so different on how they play games. Some people. I mean, I would say, a great example of a game franchise, a popular game franchise, going from gameplay and character driven to being overly bloated and kind of I want to say less interesting than its former titles, would be the Zelda franchise right now.
I knew
you knew I was going to say it. I went there. So yeah,
I agree.
My major I'm gonna bring my real world example in here now. So obviously I love Zelda. I've played all the originals. My favorite being Ocarina of Time, Christmas 1998. Thank you very much, parents. That was very good. Yeah, and I adored that game because of, its dungeons, the time. Obviously it's not a super long game, but like it felt like everything you did in Ocarina of Time. There were so many things that had a purpose, and it all kind of linked together, and there were so many aha moments. It was great. And when I was looking forward to Breath of the Wild, and obviously every Zelda since Ocarina has kind of largely stuck to the same formula of like, dungeons and getting items and all that kind of jazz. And then we get to Breath of the Wild, and they changed it up to be more open world. Now, on paper, that sounds incredible, right? It sounds amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when you actually play it, in my experience, I thought, wow, this looks great. It feels great. However, there were certain things that I just couldn't get over. And anyone that's watched our review on Zelda Breath of the Wild will already know the list of things I'm quickly about to breeze through. Didn't like weapon breaking. There was a lot of walking without, stuff to do in between. The world felt a bit too large and not enough in it. And the shrines were a boring copy-paste, where that were replacing high-quality dungeons. I feel the only dungeon in the entire game that was really worth playing was Ganon's castle, which is right at the end.
Yeah,
That was when it felt like an actual dungeon in a Zelda game to me, and yeah, the rest of it was just padding. It was a lot of meaningless padding. Walking isn't gameplay. It's just not. And there's a difference. There's a difference, because I know what people are going to be saying. It's like, yeah, but exploration, Bren. Exploration's important. It's like, yes, it is. But there's a difference between walking and exploring. Like I'd say the best game that's got this down to a freaking art was Elden Ring. Like, I know so many people are going to agree with that.
Yeah, Elden Ring was open world done on a completely different scale to anything.
Yeah, because that actually, when you discovered something in Elden Ring, it genuinely felt like, oh wow, I've really discovered something amazing here.
Well, yeah, it's because you had no choice but to discover it, because there was none of this world like traditional world map waypoints. Yeah. None of this. Oh, look, there might be something interesting here. Go there. No, none of that. You literally stumbled across stuff.
Yeah, and normally got your ass handed to you in a basket
very quickly. Yeah,
very quickly. Yeah. Well, what's that? Is that a dragon? Oh. Yeah, Elden Ring's incredible display, and maybe again that's a bad example, because that's kind of like a one-off. There isn't many other games out there that have done something similar to what Elden Ring achieved. No,
I mean, I would say, again, this is a game that I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this. That falls underneath the category too long. Or maybe just at the time I didn't have enough time to play it, which again, it sounds like another excuse, and I'm really sorry to everyone I'm about to annoy. But The Witcher 3, although but I mean, I'm not saying the game was bad, because I think that again was an open world done well. There was so
Yes.
much going on. There was so much to kind of stumble across and fall into and
Yeah.
discover.
They did exploration very well,
yeah,
and every
yeah.
side quest or thing you found felt like an important part of the game.
Oh yeah, some of the
Yeah.
side quests which you could completely just ignore they were incredible stories. So again, nothing bad on the game. It's just I think it landed for me at the wrong time, and I didn't have enough hours to put into it. So that unfortunately has still gone on the unfinished pile, and it's still in my mind categorized as too long, too overwhelming for me to go back to now.
The Witcher is a big boy. It's got a lot of stuff in it, and it can be very overwhelming for like someone that's taking on an adventure game like that for the first time as well. Like, it hits you with all these systems. It does feel like it drops you in the deep end a bit, and that's coming from like you and me have both played these games for years, like, and even starting that one felt a bit daunting at first.
Yeah, it feels like it's a very grown-up RPG.
Yes,
it's a sort of RPG for like for real grown-ups. It doesn't hold your hand. None of this like thing at the start. It's like, nope, you're in this brutal world. Deal with it.
Yeah. But
so
go on. Continue.
No, it's just like I know I'm contradicting myself saying I don't have that time to put in there, and then I openly admitted to spending like 120 hours on Persona 5, and it's just like I contradict myself there, but for some reason The Witcher 3 has just gone on to that part of my mind that says I'm not gonna have time, even though I recently did download the Xbox Series X update and got it reinstalled there, ready to go, and I've still not played it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there are many games that I haven't played too, just for varying different reasons. But when just getting back on the topic of are they too long? I guess that can be subjective as well, depending on the kind of person you are, what you have going on in your life. If you've got kids, you don't have much time to sit down and play a game. So like playing, but then it's a case of like the game's got to be entertaining for a long time. But will something like Destiny, for example, that's a live service that's designed to be played infinitely almost, does that have enough to keep pulling people back? And I know they try and extend the longevity of these kind of things by having different, events and things like that. But if it's really hard to gauge, because when I say a long game is good, I don't mean something like Valhalla, where the game feels like you're just doing busy work rather than being entertained.
Yes.
When you start saying in a game like, oh, I've got to go over there and get 5 of these, and I've got to kill 10 of those for my daily login bonus, or I've got to go here and fetch 5 of these things and bring them over there. Like, that just feels like, and all the missions are the same. It's kind of like, like Destiny's like, stand here and protect this door against 3 waves of enemies. Do that forever.
Yeah.
That feels like busy work, and I really don't like long games that are just filled with that kind of content.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think recently, the game that's felt perfect in length to me was Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I like
that had its fair share of busy work in it too. I'll get to that in a minute, but carry on.
Yeah, no, it really did. Like, to get that platinum trophy, oh my god, did I suffer? But I liked it because the main story and 99% of the side quests could be done in around about 25 hours, and I think that's the sweet spot. And then I think to do everything to get the platinum, I think it took me up to 40 hours to do everything, and I think that's a good level.
Yes, and also having like a good base level of content that's unique and interesting and engaging that lasts around 25 hours for a AAA title. That's a good benchmark to hit. And then anything after that, that's where your busy work can pad it out a little bit more, because then it's kind of a choice of whether or not you want to do that. I know we was speaking to a couple of our friends the other night, and they mentioned that, oh, well, I didn't do all the side quests because, like, frankly, I wasn't quite interested in Deke's fetish for breeding Thestrals. So
Yeah, I mean,
You know? So it's a choice at that point, you know. But yeah, long games, they can be great, but as long as they've got immersive content.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But okay, and here's the other part of this as well. Like when you buy a game, like does the length of the video game affect its replayability or its value for money? You know, how does that play into that?
I mean, it doesn't play into my purchase decision, because 9 times out of 10, you know what you're getting into. But I mean, a game doesn't have to be long to have replayability and longevity for me. If anything, a game that took me 120 hours to finish, I'll probably play once, really enjoy the experience, and maybe never go back to it. On the flip side, Resident Evil 4 recently came out. My first playthrough took me 12 hours. My second playthrough took me 4. I'm going through it for the third time now. So it's just like, that's not a long game by any stretch, but I'll probably get more longevity out of that because I'll keep wanting to keep playing it and going through it. The same as Resident Evil Village when that came out. I mean, I can't remember how many times I went through that, but that game lasted about 2 hours.
Yeah, on a speedy playthrough after you've been through it like your first time, then I mean, and I kind of agree with that. Like, I think, because to me, it's kind of like there's a lot of people I see arguing online about like, oh, games that are just one and done, or like you'll play it once and never go back to it. Like, what's the point? But it's like, well, okay. Does that mean like you'd only ever watch your favorite movie once and it's done? You're never going to watch that film again? So,
I mean, some people don't.
Well, yeah, some people don't, but some people, like, I'll watch a movie like multiple times if I really enjoy it. The same kind of thing as, I'll play a shorter game, really enjoy the experience, and I'll want to keep playing it over and over again. And I think, I don't think. Yeah, this is the hard thing because, like, people do care about like value for money, and it's like, well, if I'm and games are expensive now. It's like if I'm gonna drop like £70 or $70 or whatever on a video game, they're gonna want to make it. It's got to be long, right? They want it to be entertaining for a long time. So to me, it could be like, well, the game could be like 3 hours long, but I'll play it 20 times, like over the month, like because I love doing that. But someone that doesn't like doing that, they'll play it through once, and then they'll be like, wow, I just wasted all that money. It wasn't good value for money.
And I think that's where obviously value is very subjective to the person. So, because someone might want a game which will take 200 odd hours to finish, and that would be value to them. Others would like a 20 hours, but because the story was so great and it gives them to think about, that's value to them. And then someone else might want something like the latest Call of Duty, where, let's be honest, a game lasts 10 minutes, but you can play that over and over and over again for the until the dawn of time, or until they turn the servers off. And to them, that's their value for money because they can keep playing it as long as they like.
It's subjective, but then is that 200-hour long game that's £70 still worth the money if it's filled with busy work?
No.
So
is my view on that.
Yeah, in that same breath, are multiplayer games worth it when their content is largely based on cosmetics and microtransactions? Is that value for money? What I'm trying to say is, should all live service games be free to play?
Well, this is probably another topic for another day.
It's probably another topic for another day. Yeah,
because there's lots of ways that you could attack that statement.
Yeah, for sure.
On some levels, I fully agree. On other levels, I can see where they could charge for the game. Yeah.
Now, the one last thing I just want to say about this whole topic is I think it's an interesting one, and I've seen like a lot of different things and suggestions of what game developers should put on their boxes or on their advertisements and stuff like that. Now, do you think games should have a recommended playtime displayed on the box or in online descriptions, so you can kind of like, make more informed purchasing decisions.
Oh, that's a good question.
And would that be detrimental to game developers or not?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that, because sometimes you want to go into a game as blind as possible, and it's quite nice not knowing how long a game's going to run for. Especially, let's put it in the context of like an RPG or some story-driven game.
Yep.
You don't really want to know it's going to take 20 hours, because you'll be clock watching and thinking, "Oh, am I coming to the end? Am I coming to the end? Am I coming to the end?" So I can see it affecting that, but I don't know. Yeah, for someone with a busy schedule that might not want to drop a lot of hours into, that could be kind of useful
information.
Or
I think the reason why I ask is because there's already a website, called How Long. I can't remember what the exact website.
How Long to Beat or something.
Yeah, How Long to Beat, I think. Yeah, and it's like a database of like all games and average play times based on casual, first time playthroughs to the speed run times kind of thing.
Yeah, because I noticed just quickly on that, Xbox have implemented that feature as well on. I don't know if it's on consoles, but definitely on the Xbox for PC app.
Oh yeah,
it does have data of how long people have taken to play it on their first playthrough or to get 100%.
Okay, so they are starting to feed that in.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Xbox on PC.
That's good. I think it would be good for console players to get that. But then, like, if that information had to be provided by the developers, do you think like that would change the way development, is impacted? Like, if they think like, well, we've got to display like our times, of like average play time and stuff like that. And that has had negative impacts before. Like when it, came out that, Resident Evil Village is only an 8-hour game.
Yeah, I think that it would have a negative impact, because to make their game look more appealing and have more value for money, that's when they'll want to bloat the playtime to make it look, this game takes 200 hours. There's lots of content here for you to get lost in.
But is it good content?
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's 10 hours of story and 190 hours of fetch quests and crafting,
then it's not going to be great, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult one, but I guess from this, I'd like to ask people listening, actually, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a super long game that you'll play multiple times, or do you prefer a short, concise, tightly developed game that you'll play over and over? That'll be interesting to hear what people think about that. And yeah, if you do want to leave a comment, just hop over to the YouTube channel, or if you're already there, great. Just drop us a comment down below and let us know your thoughts. That's it's youtube.com/Ministry of Gamers MOG. And give us a comment. So do you have anything else to add on this longevity of games, Jay, or shall we move on?
I think we can move on. I think I've said everything I want to say on it. But it'd be good to hear what the audience thinks. So please do let us know.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, well, now it's time to move on to the section of the show where we muse about something that happened recently in the news. And Jason, what is in the news this week?
Okay, so we're going to start with Resident Evil 4 again, just because I love that game and I can't stop talking about it.
Nice.
So, I mean, sales figures, again, really impressive. They've now sold 3 million copies in 3 weeks.
Oof.
So
that's great.
I know. I'm so happy that the game's doing so well.
I mean, maybe another topic for another day. But yeah, all these games that are doing so well are games that came out years ago.
I mean, yeah, there is that. There is that, but it's well deserved. It's been an amazing game. Like I said, I'm currently on playthrough number 3, and I'm loving it.
Nice.
However, we do need to talk about some bad things which have happened this week. So I'll start with some more good news.
Okay.
4 million copies sold in 3 weeks.
4 million.
Yeah, I can't even read my own notes. 4 million copies. So it's even more impressive. They've sold another million since.
Amazing.
So they've added some DLC.
Okay.
Week. they added free DLC, which is the Mercenaries mode. So
Ooh,
that's gone in now. And
tasty.
yeah, that's super fun. And like I said, it's free, which is great. However,
oh no,
they've also added microtransactions.
no.
Yes.
Why have they done that?
You can now pay real life money to upgrade your weapons in the game.
No, so it's not even just microtransactions. It's pay to win microtransactions.
Yes. So they're basically you get exclusive upgrade tokens for your guns, which you can unlock in the game by completing challenges
and grinding for 10,000 hours. I bet.
No, it's not too bad actually. It's not. Okay. It's not. As long as you're clearing all the challenges while you're playing the game, you can unlock the tokens.
Right.
Usually about 2 per playthrough. But the tokens, once you've fully upgraded your weapon, you then use a token to give it. Well, you don't even need to use the token. You can use the token, or you can pay in-game currency to upgrade your gun to the final level.
Right.
So you can do it in the game without having to spend real money, but they've added the option now to buy these upgrade tokens from the store.
So you can just fast track it without
£2.50 a pop. Yeah.
So it's pay to skip the game, essentially.
Yeah. So I mean, can you call it pay to win when it's a single player game?
Yes,
I mean,
you can.
Yeah, because basically what you're doing, if you, I mean, add accessibility to the game, that's fine. If you want to increase your gun to stupid levels right off, from the get-go, then fine, but that ruins the balance and the experience of the game overall.
Yeah, I mean, overall, at the end of the day, you're paying to just skip playing the game.
Yeah,
what's the point in that? I feel that's bad and lazy game design. If developers give you an opportunity to pay to skip the gameplay, what's the point in me playing it then?
No, it always makes me think back to the old Need for Speed games where they started selling the time saver packs.
Oh yeah, where it just unlocked all the cars immediately.
Yeah. So, you start unlocking all the cars and the upgrades.
No point in playing the game then, is there?
Yeah, so what's the point of me playing then?
Yeah, it's stupid. I hate microtransactions like that. And yeah, everyone should be able to play the way they want to play it and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if you're paying to skip playing the game that you paid for, you're fucking stupid.
He said it. So,
yeah. No, you're not stupid. You're not stupid. You're just ill-informed. I don't think it's not worth it, is it? Especially if you can play and enjoy playing the game and, get the upgrades anyway through playing the game.
Yeah, which you can.
Yeah.
But it brings up another interesting point, which I've seen quite a few places mention this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's like this would have usually been free content or content that you would unlock with cheat codes or something.
Yeah, or by completing the game in under 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah. Because if you want to have more fun, because some of the upgrades for the final upgrade for the weapons gives you infinite ammo. Yeah. So you spend all this time leveling up this gun, which realistically would probably take 2 or 3 playthroughs, and then you could get this upgrade and have infinite ammo, and then start having fun with the game that way, like running through with an infinite magnum. Mm-hmm. But by making you or giving you the option to pay for it, it's it makes me lament the days where you'd unlock this in game or put in them cheat codes, and because once you play through the game once, sometimes you do want to have fun going through it again.
Yeah, and muck around.
Don't have to spend money to do that.
Yeah, no.
Bring back the cheat codes.
Bring back the cheat codes. I do miss a good cheat code, just some super secret stuff that developers used to put in. It's just more interesting.
Yeah. But no, now to do it, you need to pay for it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's just again, it's a shame that they've added them, and they added them 3 weeks after the game launch. So they knew what they were doing. They did it outside the review window. So it's a little bit shady, but
yeah, I'm throwing shade.
I hate Resi 4.
I mean, no, and they're not going to affect the main game. This is just the Mercenaries mode, but still.
No, this is for the main game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I hate it even more. No, sorry. No. Mm-mm. I'd rather go back and just play the GameCube version. without it.
Is still great.
Yeah.
But no, I still do highly recommend the Resident Evil 4 remake. Let's just forget that these DLC things even exist.
That's bad that they did it after the review embargo.
Yeah,
that's not cool. That is not cool because the scores would be lower.
Oh yeah, for sure. Be interested to see. Well, actually, it's not really interesting to see what the user reviews on Metacritic are because everyone's review bombing it anyway.
I mean,
for a multitude of different reasons.
Yeah, there are many reasons that people don't like Resi 4. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Probably, oh no, they didn't. They made Ashley's skirt not short enough or something. I don't know, but yeah, the microtransaction I feel are definitely going to have pushed user scores down more.
Yeah.
Oh well, a shame.
Yeah.
But you know,
it is a shame, but it's not as bad as the next company.
Oh no! Go on. What's happened?
So, a game that I used to absolutely adore and play for thousands of hours, Ark.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've not gone back to it because I mean, after 3,000 hours, I think I've done enough.
Yeah.
However, Studio Wildcard, they mentioned a while back that they were doing a big like graphical overhaul for Ark.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were updating it to run on Unreal Engine 5, I think it was. So they were doing this big graphical overhaul of the first game before the second one comes out, which the second one has now been delayed by a year. But we all saw that coming because nothing from Studio Wildcard has released on time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this upgrade is a paid upgrade.
Okay.
So you will have to pay $40 to upgrade to the new one, but it gets worse.
Oh, no.
So in order to force people to do it, they're turning off the official servers for the first game without the upgrade.
You're kidding me.
Nope. So if you want to continue playing Ark on the official servers, which a lot of people do, you will have to buy the upgrade.
Oh my.
I mean, they're trying to sweeten the deal and say that if you upgrade now, you will automatically get Ark 2 when that releases.
I mean, that's
next year.
That's a sweetened deal, but at the end of the day, you got to wait a whole year to get your new game that you're paying for.
Maybe longer. Mm-hmm.
And maybe longer, considering their reputation for
literally nothing has come out on time from Studio Wildcard. However, it gets worse.
No.
So, as well as Ark, the main game, there was 3 sizable story DLCs.
Okay.
Each one of them will be overhauled too.
Oh no.
And even if you own all 3 of them, you will have to buy each and every one of them again.
Oh. And how much?
About $15 each, I think.
That sounds like original pricing as well for...
It is completely original pricing. Basically, everything that you've bought for Ark,
you have to buy it again.
Rebuy.
If you want to keep playing it.
Yes.
Oh my god. That's terrible. I mean, without even looking, I'm assuming that Wildcard are receiving the biggest wave of backlash they've ever faced in their entire lives after this dropped.
Yeah, it's not gone down well. The scores for the game have basically plummeted. Everyone's review bombing it now.
Yeah. I mean, that is full on shade. I mean, if they'd offered it as a choice, like, you know, you can carry on playing the OG Ark, it's fine. But if you want the new shiny one, then yeah, buy the upgrade. But you can still play the old one. No worries. That's shady that them, like, you know, turning it off and forcing people. Yeah. You know, because at the end of the day, the people that paid for Ark, they bought and they paid for a product that they will expect to be playing and continue playing.
Yeah.
So the fact that they've just... Essentially, this is what I hate about digital online games, is developers can just literally come into your house, rip their game off your shelf and go, "This is no longer playable to you," and then walk out. Yeah. And yes, they do have a thin, twirly moustache when they're doing it as well, and a cape, perhaps.
Yeah, and a monocle.
And a monocle, yes.
So that's happening there. It's only affecting, I say only affecting official servers. So if anyone's running, because
Like
a lot of people have
private
their own
ones.
unofficial servers,
Yeah.
private servers. So it won't affect them. So there will still be a way to play the original one on a private server if you don't want to pay for the upgrade.
But you can't do it on the official ones.
No, all official servers are being turned off, and I feel really sorry for the people that have put thousands and thousands of hours into the official servers.
F's in the chat.
Yeah.
F's in the chat. Oh, that's terrible. That is really bad.
Always goes to show, no matter what one company does, another one will do something even worse.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. EA, they're probably listening.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what can we do?
Yeah, I'm waiting for some catastrophe news coming out about the new Star Wars game, but hopefully that'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm hoping that releases in a few weeks.
Yes.
Looking forward to that one.
Yes.
Moving on to some Sony news.
Sony.
And some interesting patents that they've
interesting
submitted
pants?
Patents.
Oh, patents.
Not pants. Interesting pants. Then that would be news.
Yeah.
No, they've patent or patent, I don't know how you pronounce it.
However you pronounce it,
yeah. Yeah. For temperature feedback in the controllers.
Temperature feedback. Oh, like to maybe that's a battery thing?
Well, I mean, at the moment, because people can only go by the information that's in the thing they've submitted, but they're on about looking at technology that will solve the issue of plastics that could potentially deform.
Oh, okay, and become brittle.
Yeah, which leads people to think that they're, trying to add more immersion into their controllers and have temperature changing PS5 controllers.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say that is not what they're doing. I think that's a reach.
Yeah, I don't know, because, I mean, looking at some of it's very technical. Some of the details in it are, there's an example, filling mixed sealed gas bubble into an elastic chamber. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you say. But yeah, temperature changing controllers.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that means that all PS5 controllers or PS6 controllers or whatever they're going to put this into, maybe they're going to have vapes in them so you can have like vapor coming out of it. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, really immerse yourself in the world. Like, yeah.
Like an explosion happens on screen and you get a blast of vape in your face.
You fall into water, it just splashes water in your face.
Yeah, they're going for 4D gaming.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually, we have to buy a Sony couch that moves when you move.
Yeah, a motion seat. Brilliant. I mean, I'm all for stuff like that. I mean, it's fun, it's gimmicky, but I don't know. There's nothing that beats like I still think the best immersive control and thing to happen in video games it was the Steel Battalion game on the original Xbox.
I mean, yeah, you don't get more immersive than that because my God, was that hard to use.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Steel Battalion was a mech piloting game, and it came with a huge controller that featured 40 buttons and switches. There's a switch on there to turn on the windshield wipers. It had 2 big joysticks with buttons on there to move each arm of the mech, and it also had 3 foot pedals that you had to use to control the mech. And the whole setup was amazing, and I do have it. I do have it. It's a prized item in my collection. And I think
I used to love playing that around yours.
Yeah.
I never knew what I was doing, and it was super hard, but it was fun.
But yeah, it was great, wasn't it, to pilot a mech? So I think that was the best form of immersion, just having something to actually grip hold of and use. I think they've gotten a lot more back with that with VR. That's very immersive.
Yeah.
I think the worst kind of immersion was, do you remember that they actually released a new Steel Battalion game?
I know they did a new one. Did they release a special controller for it?
No. Do you remember that time in Xbox's history, Jay, where you are the controller?
Oh no!
Yeah, it was a Connect
It was
special.
oh my god!
Yeah, and typically, if you do look at the review scores, it bombed so hard. It's the worst game. I'm pretty sure it's pointed at as being one of the worst games to ever release on that generation. You don't really hear much about it because it was so bad.
Yeah, no, Connect. I'm so glad it died.
Yeah, let's sweep that under the carpet. But hey, if PlayStation want to carry on trying, I mean, they did well already with the adaptive triggers. I find those triggers really, really cool to use.
Yeah,
I love it in games. I know some people find them a bit like, oh, I don't like that, and switch it off. But I really like it in like things like Call of Duty when you fire a gun and the trigger like kicks in your finger. It feels really good.
Yeah,
so
it's great. And like Horizon, you feel the tension of the bow.
Yeah.
And I think they've implemented that really great.
They've done it really well. So if they want to go ahead and put hand warmers in controllers, then sure. Let's feel the flames. Feel the heat of the next immersive AAA title.
So again, it's just something they've filed, whether it comes out or they're just covering bases for now. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the next innovation of controller is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're all used to haptic feedback now, so let's see what new comes out of this.
Yeah, for sure.
But sticking with Sony for the moment, there is also rumors that they are working on a new handheld console.
Ooh. I assume it's not going to be another PSP. Are they doing something different, do you think?
So I mean, the last one they did was the PS Vita, which it was a great console. For like a handheld thing, it was still quite powerful. It never really took off in the West. It was very big in Japan, but
Japan love their handhelds, don't they?
Yeah, and they had the games to support it. There were so many more games over there than that came out over here. However, this one, from the leaks and the rumors that people have seen, this will require a PS5 still. So this will just act as a cloud streaming sort of console from your PS5.
Oh, so kind of like it connects to your PS5 and from anywhere, from a Wi-Fi connection, and then you can just play games that you have on your console.
So remote play functionality. Maybe that is just for PS5 games, but I know as part of the PlayStation Essential or PlayStation Extra or whatever they're calling it now, so many confusing names. They do have the streaming for old like PS3, PS2, and PS1 games. They already have cloud streaming there, so I wonder if it will be like I don't know, their version of like a Game Pass box which will allow you to cloud stream older titles and then remote play PS5 games from your console.
Well, am I remembering this incorrectly? But couldn't you remote play your PlayStation 4 with a Vita?
You could.
So is that not the...
Many times I played Destiny in a different room.
I was going to say, isn't that not the same thing then? Are they just kind of... They're just going to release a new handheld that can do what the Vita did?
But for PS5.
Interesting.
Potentially. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they come up with.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of handheld, like sort of cloud streaming things entering that space now. I mean, the Steam Deck was the first one, obviously, and that's done really well. But there's some competitors releasing soon. I know Asus are doing a Steam Deck competitor.
Oh, are they? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So keep your eyes on the handhelds then.
Yeah. But I mean, I've been quite tempted to get a Steam Deck, but...
Well, if you do, let me know if you get one, because then we can test our game on it.
Oh yeah, good. Nice plug.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, we're developing a video game. It's called Bubblegum Zombie Hunter. The demo is freely available on Steam or itch.io, or you can check out the website, which is bubblegumzombie.com. Yeah. There you go. Shameless plug.
Yeah, no, gotta plug it. Gotta plug it.
Absolutely. Might be on a new Sony handheld one day. Who knows?
And that's it for the news.
Lovely. What a riveting round of news. But now it's time to swiftly move on to hear from our beautiful listeners with listener comments. Yes, and who is our first commenter, Jay?
So first we have Kenneth Roberts.
Kenneth, how's it going?
Who says, great episode, lads.
Wait.
He also clarified Super Stardust Portable and Siphon Filter Dark Mirror are PSP games.
Oh,
that you can only play on the PS Plus Premium. There you go, just what I was talking about. So that's what it's called.
So it's like, yeah, the only way to play those games that you never heard of is because they were on premium download only sections of the store.
Yeah,
is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. That originally released back on the PSP, which not many people really had.
No.
It's a shame, really.
But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely check it out though, but I don't think I'm going to be able to play it.
No.
Which is a shame.
Yeah. He also asks, what would you say is a game that you thought might not be that good, but exceeded your expectations and taken you by surprise?
Ride to Hell.
I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be good, and it definitely wasn't.
No, I keep forgetting the name of the game that we played and we reviewed.
I was going to say the exact same game.
Yeah. Yaiba.
Ninja Gaiden Z.
Yaiba Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, we went to, just a little story about this. We both went to town and we were perusing the game shelves, weren't we? And it was at the time where Game were doing like, buy 3 Xbox 360 games for like 10 quid or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was like 3 for 4 or something. And we had this little tradition where we would like to go in and buy like the cheapest games that they had or ones that we'd never heard of, and just like 10 or 15 games at a time, and it would come to like £20.
Yeah, and then we'd just go and play them all. Yeah. And we were out of the stack of games we bought that day, because we'd each buy like 4 or 5, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So we put the stacks together, and out of the entire stack that day, the clerk that served us said, Yaiba. Wow. Well, this, lads, is definitely the worst of the bunch that you've got here.
Yeah.
Turns out it was our favourite.
Yeah. So, yeah, we went straight back home and we were like, all right, let's play it.
Yeah.
And we did. We finished it start to finish in one sitting. Loved it so much, we decided to review it. And I had to play through it again, start to finish, to capture it. And again, second time through, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah. It's a fantastic game. Honestly, if you've not played it, Yaiba, Ninja Gaiden, a great time to be had. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And check out our review of it as well if you want.
Yeah. I gotta say quickly another mention. Well, hang on, I'll read the rest of his comment
go on.
first. He said for him, the game that surprised him was Lawnmower Simulator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you played that, didn't you?
Not Lawnmower Simulator. Oh no, I did. I played like the first 10-15 minutes of it, but I couldn't get into it.
You didn't get on with that one.
No. He said it was actually quite a good game and quite relaxing, just mowing some grass, he says.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I've played games like, you've seen me play games like Bus Simulator. Driving a bus around a city, picking up some passengers, sorting out the change. I really like it. It's very chill. So I totally understand the lawn mowing aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the game that and that similar sort of genre that I really got into was Power Wash Simulator.
Oh God, you played loads of that, didn't you?
I did. I could not stop playing it. I loved it.
Yeah, just trying to power wash every little bit.
Yeah, so I completely get the whole just like very relaxing, like you just presented with this dirty play area, go and clean it with this pressure washer. All right,
lovely, really
sign me up. So that was another game more recently which has surprised me, or I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did.
Yeah, that's great.
And then he asked another question.
Yep.
If I can use words. Did you rent any games from Blockbusters and try and complete it before taking it back to the shop? Or was that just me?
Well, I have a story about that.
Okay.
I'll keep it brief. But I, naughtily, when I was a young child, don't have a go at me too much. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. So, and games are expensive. So I had a chipped Xbox. Because I wanted to play all the games. And there was a feature on the chipped Xbox that allowed you to install discs to the hard drive. So what I would do, I'm really sorry, Blockbuster. I used to go to Blockbuster, rent a game, install it on the hard drive, and you did not need the disc afterwards.
I remember you doing that
Yeah.
because I remember very specifically you did it with Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I
Which
did.
one was it? I can't remember which one it was, but
It was the.
no, it was the double collection, wasn't it?
That's right.
And but the disc wouldn't work because it was so scratched. So we played frisbee with it.
Yeah. The disc wouldn't work at all. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, so we're just like, oh, it's scratched to hell anyway. Let's just made for play frisbee with it.
Yeah, but just to redeem myself, every game that I did do that with, I did buy a full real copy of. So there. I don't have pirated games in my collection anymore.
Yeah, we value our collections.
We
now.
do. Even to the point where you had a chipped PlayStation 1 and we had a copy, like a pirated copy of Knockout Kings, wasn't it?
Knockout Kings
2000. Yeah, and we used to play that so much, and then to a point where we both now own copies of Knockout Kings 2000, don't we?
Yep. That one and Jedi Power Battles. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. Yeah, them were the two games that I had copied, but yeah. We love playing them so much, we did go out and buy physical copies. So
yes.
We redeemed ourselves.
Redemption.
I don't remember ever renting too many games from Blockbuster, if I'm honest. The only time I remember, like vividly remember renting a game was Abe's Odyssey on the PlayStation. And I remember renting it, and it's really weird that I've linked these two. At the same time that my parents rented Titanic on video for the weekend. Because I remember them watching it while I was upstairs trying to get through this game as quick as I could in the 2 days that I had it.
Yeah, so, you ain't getting through Abe's Odyssey in 2 days, are you?
No, especially not like back then when I was not that good at games.
No, yeah.
So my early memories of Abe's Odyssey are always linked with Titanic.
Fantastic. Near, far, wherever you are, you're always near Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Fantastic.
But thanks, Kenny. Thanks for your comment.
Thank you.
We have a quick comment from Stephen that says, great episode, guys.
Hey, thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much. We're
always
doing
a pleasure.
Something right.
We are.
And then lastly, we have Corus or Caruz. I'm really sorry. I can never remember how to pronounce your username. He says, hey, guys, nice talk. Recently pre-ordered Resident Evil 4 simply because of the Steelbook. But I'm surprised it was just the game and Steelbook with no normal PS5 case with it. When did that change? I remember you got both before.
Yeah, you used to get like the Steelbook as like an extra thing that you could put your disc in.
Yeah. The Steelbook like came as that was the bonus item that came with the normal copy of the game that you got.
Although now you say that, Halo 2 on the Xbox only came in a steel case. It had a steel case with a plastic slip cover over the top. I know because I've still got mine.
Yeah, I've got mine on the shelf as well.
So they did do games that literally only came in the Steelbook.
But that was because you bought that special edition.
Yes, there was a choice.
Yeah, there was a version that came in the normal case, and then there was the special edition that came in that Steelbook.
Yeah. So I guess it's just kind of like the old days. You don't get both.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, like, when you order like the base copy of the game and it comes with like, pre-order now to get the Steelbook.
Right.
Back then, you always used to get the Steelbook was like an added extra because I mean I've got like a whole shelf of empty Steelbooks that came with pre-orders of other games that I've got.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, to only get that seems a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit pants. But I mean, like, I've got the Steelbook. Well, it's a tin, actually. Conflict Desert Storm 2. Do you remember that?
It wasn't as good as the first one, but still a great game.
Yeah, it's good, but not as good. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, no, it's always disappointing. To be honest, I think that's a topic for another day, to be fair. Special editions and games and how they are kind of crap these days.
Yeah, good point. That is on the topic for another day.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, we'll put that one in the bank.
Yeah.
And then he finishes his comment by saying, I remember, on another note, no more console wars. Get a PS5 and a PC. Yeah, then you have the best of both.
Yeah. I mean, and a Nintendo. Don't forget them.
Oh, yeah, you don't forget Nintendo. Yeah, sound advice. That's my advice for everyone else.
Yeah.
But it's just like, but then money's involved. Because it's like, yeah, it's great saying, just get an Xbox, PS5, PC, and the Switch.
Just buy them all.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah. not everyone can do that. But I think the major point there is to be able to play everything. You don't need a PC and 3 consoles. You kind of just need a PC and 2 of the consoles, because if you've got a really good PC or a halfway decent PC, you don't really need an Xbox.
No, because everything that releases on, well, I'm not going to say everything, but
just
majority of Xbox's catalog release on PC as well, and most of it on the Game Pass.
Yeah.
But I mean, even as far as PlayStation goes, a lot of the PlayStation exclusives are now being ported to PC. Okay, somewhat poorly, but they are appearing on PC. So yeah, I think as long as you've got a decent PC and a Nintendo Switch, if Nintendo games are your style, because I mean, you know,
not everyone's cup of tea.
No, if you don't like Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda, then you don't need a Nintendo Switch. Let's be honest. So yeah, there are ways around it, but either way, let's just stop the console wars.
Yeah.
Whatever you play on, it's great.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, don't come at me in the comments.
Yeah, we didn't get any hate comments.
No, we didn't.
Great.
That's good. No. Yeah, always a plus.
Yeah, yeah. But thanks for your comment anyway.
Yes, thank you.
And that's it for this week.
Fantastic. Short and sweet for the comments. But yeah, if you want to leave your comment on anything that we've talked about today, just don't forget to leave it in the comment section on YouTube, and that's youtube.com/Ministry of Gamers MOG. So I think we've whittled on for long enough, haven't we?
I think so.
Yeah. So that'll about do it for this week. Thanks again to everyone that's tuned in and listened this far. You are an absolute golden legend if you've got through the entire hour that we've been recording.
Yes, we love you all.
we do. There's a lot to talk about. And if you've got this far and you'd like to leave us any feedback as well on how we're doing or things we can improve with the show, then we'd also love to hear all about that. So yeah, please do include that in your comments. And so all that's left to say is goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
I'm sure we'll lock down an official outro next time, but until then,
some point,
until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.